All right, when you have let your piece that you made on the wheel dry, almost completely bone dry or bone dry, it will come off the bat, but it will come off what I would call unrefined. There's bumps and imperfections, the bottom is not finished, and we are not to trimming yet, so we need to know how to fix this so it doesn't look sloppy or unfinished. And you will have to do this for every piece that comes off the wheel. I have all of my tools in front of me. I have the water with a sponge. I have a pin tool. And I have two types of sandpaper, two different grit types. The grit is on the back, and this is 60. The lower the number, the rougher the sandpaper. This is 120, which means it's a little smoother. This is the last step. The last sandpaper. So what I'm going to do first is gently, not soak the piece, but I'm going to add some water, because if you didn't, you would create dust. As you can see, I've used this sandpaper before, and it has some wet clay on it, because when you use the sandpaper, you need to make it a little bit moist, the clay a little bit moist first, so it doesn't create dust. That's a safety issue. Do not sand clay without it being slightly moist. We are not soaking it so it becomes leather hard at all. Now I'm gently pressing down, checking each time, making sure that I'm taking off little bits at a time. You can't take off too much. Then I'm going to pick it up and re-wet the sides. I want to finish those sides a little better. I'm going to have to do a little more on the bottom, I see, because there's some bumps. So I'm going to pick it up and kind of get rid of those by hand. Now you're going to make quite a mess on your table. You just need to make sure to clean it up. So the bottom is pretty smooth. I'll probably have to go over that definitely with the smooth one. Now I'm going to fix the edges. Clean it up with the sponge. Now the foot's not too bad. So now I'm going to take and fix any imperfections that I might have with the rough first, the 60 grit. I also have this bump from just the plastic when I covered it. Give it a little, maybe go around the whole edge and make sure there's no rough edges. Make sure there aren't any on the inside. Now everyone's is going to have a little more or a little less. It just make sure you get rid of any imperfections. Okay, now I'm ready for the smoother 120 grit. Move that out of my way. And I'm going to smooth the bottom first. It's still pretty wet, so I didn't have to re-wet it. You will have to wipe it down to get any dust off. I'm going to fix any scratch marks that were left by my 60 grit. Here's some scratch marks from the smooth those out. And now finally the edge. The last thing I'm going to do is wipe it all down to make sure there's no extra dust on it. Make sure it's completely done. Wipe any last minute bottom down. Here's an extra chunk here, so I'm going to take my pin tool and smooth that out. There is no piece that comes off of the wheel that is completely done. You will always have to improve it. Now the last thing I'm going to do once I'm done is sign it. or it will not be fired. Make sure you do not push too hard so you don't go through the bottom. All right.